We are good to go. It is Lucas, a survivor of that World Championship 2010 vintage, who gets us underway. There's an immediate side out though for the Cubans. This is Andy Bodfish and Matt Prosser inside the commentary box.
Andy, it's going to be important for Cuba to keep that first ball side out rhythm going. They need to be able to swing hard and successfully to score the points from the pins.
So Marlon Yamnin, that first serve for the Cubans. Side outs exchange, that first swing from Lucarelli.
I'm going to say his name a lot tonight, Andy Lucarelli.
Yeah.
Hanging in the air and then attacking the wing blocker Sanchez. That's the setter for Cuba.
So Lucarelli, of course, who plays his club volleyball with Piacenza in Italy with Simon. Nice little tip there. Gets the Cubans back on the serve. First release for Javier Concepcion. Starts in the block tonight for Cuba. An epic meeting in last year's VNL between these two, which Cuba won. Brazil exacted revenge by winning in 4 sets when the two met here in this very arena for Olympic qualifying last autumn. Block! That will get the juices flowing. That's Flavio, stuffs that down.
Flavio just making his presence known on that block point, shutting down the counterattack swing from Lopez.
Well, the block got over. Set hug in the air. Jan rejected. 2-2 here. Lucarelli with that release. Nice middle attack there. I mean, look at the height and the frame on this guy. Big Robert Landy. 208. The guy's a giant, man.
He really is, and his presence on the court has to be utilized for Cuba. Nice feed there from Thondike, throwing it in to Robert Landy Simon, expecting that set to come his way.
Yeah. Going to be seeing his name a lot tonight as well. Cuba on the serve. That's a swing, which is out. Well, the crowd celebrating that one before it landed. They just expect these spikes to land. But that was wide of the mark.
Darlan off to a bit of a slow start here, not connecting from the left side and then missing out on that first swing from the right side.
There's the up. Leal into the block. Go to the right side. He's trying to find that channel, but he's missing here. Cuba have made a really fast start. 5-2 first set.
And they've rebounded nicely after that Flavio block a few points ago, but the attack errors from Darlan definitely helping Cuba's efforts.
Yep, 5-2 here. So staying on the service is Michael Sanchez. Wasn't part of the squad at the Maracasino in the Olympic qualies. He ducks that serve past that back line. Cuba will want to build on this platform, but the serve goes over to Flavio, who's just left the Perugia for Trentino. He wants to emulate the championship performance with his new club in Italy. A lot of presence in terms of the clubs from these players in Italy. Flavio at 31 gets that serve wrong, so serve is now with Miguel Lopez, Japan, with Panasonic Panthers. Just one member of the Cuban party, plays at home domestically. Middle attack there. They're staying in the middle, the ball's on the floor.
That matchup's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Lucas attacking against Robert Landy Simon. Two of the best in the business. Lucas wins this one, going with that crossbody swing through the seam.
Deep serve. The libero, Wanda Garcia, managed to dig that up and out to that block. That's the swing he wanted.
Darlan just so explosive out of the back row. He jumped from about 3 feet behind the 3-meter line. Let's see if we can see it here where he takes off from and still nearly lands at the net on this attack.
Darlan was the man who paced the Brazilians in that Olympic qualifying match. He goes heavy to that corner apex, gets it wrong, just overcooked it a little. Brazil just having to rein in the adrenaline a little bit at the start here.
Easier said than done, Andy. It's an electric environment here for sure. The adrenaline is pumping for the Brazilian side.
Yeah. Famous arena as well on this very court. Brazil won the Olympic gold 2016. Beat the Italians in that final. Three-point cushion here though for the Cubans.
Yeah, the Cubans playing with some confidence. Solid counter-attack swinging there from Marlon Yant, and Bernardinho back on the sideline. A little frustration there on his face.
Yeah, replaced Renan Del Zotto. Oh, that's whipped through the middle. Nice clean ace serve there. Cuba absolutely gunning this at the start. 9-5.
Robert Landy Simone delivering a service winner on his first attempt. Be dangerous from the inline.
Goes again. Flo mixes it up. Short serve. Libero pickup. Comes back to Brazil, who swing again left side. Best they can hope for there is contact off the hands, which they get. Andy Leal, 6'9".
Leal getting his feet to this ball a little tight, but you can see him go up high and aim for the fingers on that high ball set against the triple block.
And here's just left Piacenza to play in Russia next season. Andy Leal. It was busy time for the players individually. They're negotiating deals, they're moving clubs. A lot of conversations happening in the corners of hotel lobbies as everything gets sorted. 7-9 here. This is Yohandy Leal, the 25-year-old. There's the tip. Great jig. Ball still in the air. And the swing goes deep.
It's called out of bounds, but Cuba thinks that there's a touch. We're going to see our first challenge in the match. Cuba looking for a block touch this time.
Yeah, Cuba throwing in this challenge. Leal, of course, not 25. You can add a decade onto that. He was that veteran in the 2010 World Champs team, Cuba, with a fantastic heritage in terms of international volleyball. They've got Jesus Cruz Lopez involved as that ball goes clean over. Jesus Cruz Lopez oversaw the junior teams, medals at junior age-level world championships. Promoted, replacing Nicolas Vives in the aftermath of the last international season. There's a pickup. Oh. Wave across, Lucarelli. Oh, and that approach there from Darlan into that block.
Well, a good block here from Cuba. Fortunately for them, Marlon Yant able to save it. But that time, nice block to shut it down and take that point.
Concepcion gets across. Smooth transition, nice and tidy, and the clean swing as well through that middle. 1 point set, 9-10.
This would be a great angle to watch this play through the middle of the court with Flavio running the back one. It opens up Yohandy Leal to attack the Bic. And he finds that seam right through the arms of Concepcion that time.
Well, a mistake on the Brazil serve. Lucas that time. Someone needs to hold here for Brazil.
Nearly got the home court advantage, bounce off the tape. Ends up just wide.
Serve to the line, big high set, so 3 in the block.
Great spot by Marlon Yant, standing well deep off the court, looking for the touch off the block, but Lucarelli just hitting this one with a bit too much pace. Yant sent it back over, but out of bounds.
had a ripping middle spike there, big swipe on that.
You can see that Cuba wants to run their offense through the middle of the court as well. This time Concepcion on the 31. Brazil called it out, but there was a net violation called against the block.
Very much in. Short serve. Ribeiro with that pass. High hands to that Brazil attack. Rather apologetic flop out of play there.
Lucarelli just has so many shots. This time throwing it off of Lopez's block and out of bounds.
Lucarelli now. Goes too big again. Out the back there. Pulse on serve. Just it needs to be racked up here for Brazil. We've served a little short there. Nice high hands. They are a tall team, showing their physicality again. To pull it down the side that beats that block. Bruno in the back line couldn't pick it up.
Oh my goodness. Bruno could barely react to that. A great play, a bump set there from Robert Landy Simon. Love to see that. And then down the line, past Darlana, right at Bruno's chest. You can see Bernardinho wants his team to block line in those situations on the three-man high ball.
Yeah, decent hustle that as well. Got past the three in the block. To that time there for Cuba. But Brazil score. Yoandy Leao.
The pins have been good so far for Brazil. Attacking smartly against the smaller block and finding the hands.
Another fault on serve, that time from Flavio. Fifth service fault. Really going for it from the end line. Big whip on that from Cuba. Comes back. Nice little cushion. And Lucas pumps that down. Transition was tidy and clean and comfortable and always in control there, the Brazilians.
A terrific play from Brazil. Perfect pass in system. Lucas hammering that ball to the floor.
13-15. The big serve. Pass great into that setter. Cuba really locked and loaded here. Opening set. Cross it comes. And that's a good leave. Again, powered across there at Talisos, who couldn't pass it. Cuba really aggressive. I suppose that was the way they had to approach this. They had to start on the front foot tonight.
They certainly did, Andy. They have no room for, anything but aggressive play. And you can see that they're working hard. They're counter-attacking nicely. They're taking huge swings at the ball, and it's paid off with this three-point lead.
There's the up. To push that tip up and over the block here. And mistake. Brazil come again. Middle attack, one-on-one. That is one heck of a block. Concepcion right in there here.
Solid block here. Watch his patience. Good reaction. Gets a move over, puts his hands over the net to shut down Lucarelli out of the back row.
Well, you can see the logic in going for Bernardinho again. If you're the Brazilians, Coach Fernando Del Zotto paid the price for Brazil's failure to win the South American Championships for the first time ever last year. Sensational run of gold medals in that competition. Then all of a sudden, they finished second to Argentina. Fernando Del Zotto, sorry mate, you're off. Bernardinho will be hoping for an 8th Olympic medal as player or coach. men's and women's teams of Brazil when it comes to Paris.
Some drama unfolding here, Andy, after that attack. Looking for a touch on the block. It looks as if Cuba would admit to it.
Which means a green fair play card in this year's VNL, which are totted up. The winning nation, fair play-wise, receives a significant cash prize at the end of the VNL this year. As long as you can see the point before the referee has made that box shape with the hands. That's a point in the fair play column. Green card, they call it. Luke up and over the block, and nicely worked. The navigation all the way into Lucarelli's airspace. He pulls the trigger off the side of that block.
Great defensive effort, gives Brazil the second chance on this counter-attack. Concepcion doing a good job moving along the net, just not able to get there fast enough that time.
Cuba still leading here. First set, great tempo, great pace, great atmosphere. Another serve fault.
Brazil already with 5 service errors, Andy. That's a lot for this phase of set number 1. Still a long way to go, and we're making some changes already on the Brazilian side.
So we've got Mauricio, one of the more seasoned players. Mauricio at 35 comes in for Leal. The Olympic gold medal winning vintage here in 2016. Containment, big up. Bruno gets the back in system. Cracking read that from the Cubans. What a block.
An amazing block by Marlon Yan. Didn't go anywhere, stayed at home, knew where Lucas was. A great play there. Here's Darlan's dig, diving out of the way, but that only leaves Lucas there, and Yan says, not on me this time.
They're each of the well in their days in Italy, Marlon Yan and Bruno. Nice set, that's the middle, that's the finish. That's what Brazil want to see.
You'd expect to see Bruno go right back to his longtime teammate Lucas here, especially after he got blocked on the previous play. Attacking the seam though, smartly hitting that ball back to zone 1, the corner.
And Cuba did win the opening set in that Olympic qualies meeting. Helped them out in the long run. Brazil took the following 3. Cuba giving themselves a great chance again here. Look at that, 7 errors on serve to just that single serve fault for Cuba. Wonder what this will bring. Another rocket. Bruno gets them in system. Yeah, the swing coming from behind that attack line was just too hot.
If Brazil cannot come back to win this opening set, they're going to squarely look at their missed serves. 7 through 1 set. Only at 20 points. That's way too many, and you can see Cuba taking advantage of it, being aggressive from the inline.
Block got across, but couldn't angle to the inside. Cuba get another. Now the cushion is 4, the requirement is 4 for the opening set to silence the Maracanazinho, as far as the Central Americans are concerned.
Sanchez has been solid from the right side so far that time. It was Lucarelli just chasing him a bit too far.
Concepcion. Error on serve. Cuba. Yeah, way out.
Way out. Brazil reverses their substitution, bringing Leal back into the front row for Mauricio.
Over the block. Bruno in system. And making it very easy that time. Yoandy Leal plants that spike inside the back line. Cuba can hear the galloping hooves now of Brazil right behind them. Just 2 points in it.
ahí, tratar de hacerle un pase alto, le brinda altura, la deja cómoda ahí y que resuelva el problema. La necesidad de hacer el K1. Él ahora va a tratar de meter en el terreno para una pila de saque. Si se viene en el terreno, es recibir la zona 8 y cambiar la pelota que se la dé. Dale, vamos.
Communication there through the timeout in Cuba's huddle. Good communication from the coach, giving good solid direction. Everyone's staying calm. They've got a 2-point advantage here in the business end of set number 1. They're playing solid volleyball. The real question is, Andy, can they close it out here to take this first set victory?
Well, there's every suggestion. They've got it within their powers to do so. Had to start fast, didn't they? And not let Brazil get into any sort of rhythm or tempo tonight. Just to spread a little bit of unease amongst not only the team but the crowd as well. Pick up, nice pass as well. 2 in the air. Brazil have rejected. They go to Darlan on that inside, and he's on the floor with that. And here come Brazil, down by just 1 now.
This is going to be the difficult part for Cuba. With Brazil playing from behind, able to score a few points. This time, Darlan going through the block of Simon, and the crowd erupts with emotion behind the effort they see from their team.
Lucarelli. Pass set to that back line. Really delightful. And a beautiful thing to watch when that pipe attack works out.
It was a perfect pass. Leads to an in-tempo, quick play from Yet on the big. Catches Bruno up top on the head. Way through the net, though. The longtime competitors checking on each other.
So, switch and setter here. Christian van Dijk, placed by Ivan Taboada, in for the serve. No pressure. 22-20's the score. Oh, it's a good serve as well. Forced the mistake. To be fair, that's a hustle from Brazil. They get it out to Darlan. And there is a little bit of heat taken off the spike there by the block, but the attack was too good.
Watch this set from Bruno. I don't know how he didn't net on this play. His body control, tees it up for Darlan on the backside as he hammers that one through the block.
Those long, seemingly telescopic arms of Robert Vandy Simon to that block, squeezes across, it's out. On another day, that drops inside that white line. Today is not that day. Here are Cuba at 23s here, first set.
That's exactly how set 1 has gone for Cuba and gone against Brazil. Plays that they should be getting, going in favor of the Cuban side.
Atenção na variante agora, mais do que nunca. Podemos troca depois. Recuperando depois. Vamos lá. Variante agora e segunda coisa. Um pouco mais de atenção. Agora agora foi side out. Puxando o saque. Foram 7 vezes lá. Quantidade, mas a pressão, bloqueio. Atenção agora. Passamos em 3, Darlan. Caixinha. Darlan, deixa eu sair. Melhor. Agora 2 do 4.
So, tactical timeout there, as it distracted the Cubans, who are close now to zipping up set 1. 23 plays 21 here. Big serve. Really good serve as well. Overpass, the pass was a little bit heavy, but they just about kept in control there. Directed it into Simon. Ball is down on the floor, and here we have 3 set points for Team Cuba.
This is how set number 1 has gone. Leal jumping on the back row setter leaves Robert Landy Simon alone at the net to slam that ball to the floor.
Can't finish with a flourish, at least not there, with that huge serve from Taboada. Did what he was instructed to do. To get them on the verge. Big serves coming up now. Darlan. Good serve as well. Delivering when it matters most, forcing the overpass. Layout into those high hands. Well played, Brazil. 1 set point saved.
Well played indeed. Bruno had come off the court in favor of Arlanda. Block at the net. A great play from Ricardo Lucarelli to step in and set the second ball right here from the back row. Good awareness, and then Leao driving that one hard off of Jan's hands.
Timeout the other way. Brazil, with 4 nations that have won the Men's Volleyball Nations League. They took the title in the Rimini Bubble 2021. Oh no, he couldn't pull it off again. The timeout worked, it distracted Darlan and Cuba, just as they did in the Olympic qualifying match here in this venue last autumn. Take the opening set of Brazil. Very impressive that from Jesus Cruz Lopez's team, Matt.
It really was. They came in, they took an early lead, and they held on to it for the remainder of the set, silencing this crowd of nearly 10,000 here and really putting themselves in the good position. Now, how does Brazil respond? They've got to play cleaner. They've got to attack better from the right side. They have to make more serves. They let all the pressure off Cuba by missing too many serves. We take a look at the stats now. Look at that, 10 errors from Brazil in the opening set, and they still only lost by 2 points. So you have to expect that they will play a much stronger brand of volleyball here in set number 2. Even the attacking, you can see they won in that one. But Brazil left a lot on the table that time, and expect to see a better effort from them here in set number 2. Pretty even win probability throughout that set.
Remember, every match matters in VNL 2024 as well. The nation's not qualified for the Olympic Games yet in world ranking points. Every victory and every result. Cuba are on the hunt. They want to be in Paris. So let's have a look then at attack zone hit points in set 1.
This for Brazil, pretty heavy on the pins, not so much through the middle. Meanwhile, for Cuba, 31% of their offense came through the middle of the court. Not very much overhead to the right side. They were left side dominant as expected in set number 1.
Yeah. Out attacked by Brazil pretty significantly, but the block started to work really. 3 blocks to 1, just a single block in Brazil's favor in that opening set. But got to stamp out these errors. Not going to win anything with an error count like that. 10 errors in the first set, undermining Brazil's progress here.
Meanwhile, for Cuba, Marlon Yant leading his team with 4 points. Only 27% attack efficiency, but he'll take the set victory over his own statistics. Meanwhile, for Brazil, Rene Leao with 6 points through that first set, all on attack. But Darlan, with those 2 errors, you have to expect him to play a stronger second set from the right side for Brazil.
Set 2. Here's Yant. It's a VNL birthday. He's 23 on Thursday, this guy. Just left Lube for Zenit. 204. So he's a real unit, got a big frame on him. this to open up set 2 here at the Maracanazinho. Big serve, and what an opener. That's an absolute rocket on serve.
It's exactly what Cuba needs. Their biggest jump server, and they've got a handful of them. Scoring a good ace through the seam there, catching one on Tales. That does not happen very often.
They're insistent. It does well. There's the up. Huge high set there into Darlan. That allowed the block to form. So they go to the opposite side there, and Miguel Lopez gets it done. 2-0.
Lopez is his own high-flying outside hitter. He's got an explosive arm as well. He gets up, hangs in the air, knows that Flavio's coming late, but then gets that one past him into the angle.
Again, the block will have to do its work. It does for the time being. Bruno to the middle, and that's snapped home by Flavio.
Flavio working hard to be up and available for his setter to find him. This time going deep in the middle, area 6 for the point.
Just a rapid transition there. As Cuba struggled to anticipate that middle attack. Now we've got Lucarelli. Middle into the block. Doesn't quite happen there for Flavio. Snapped into it, but wide.
Yeah, Flavio's fronting that middle hitter of Concepcion, who was strong in that first set. Starting off strong again here in set 2. Catches a block and sends it out of bounds.
Concepcion now to the end line here. Well played. Switch there to Darlan, just to feed it through. Ball's on the floor.
Yeah, you can see it. Andy Bruno going back to Darlan, getting his confidence up, getting some point production from the right side for his team. This time challenging the high hands of Lopez.
Spike height, 3.3 meters there. That's the problem. That foot comes off the gas when they work hard to get it to Darlan to get the serve back. Rather meek concession of the serve, really. Now we've got Michael Sanchez. Set to that tip on the angle. Bold attempt there at the pancake. It's a lovely contact, just feathering to the inside there.
Good contact and good vision by Leal to see that sliver of open court just over the block and down right behind it.
All that pace off with the finish. Darlan got 20 points in the Olympic qualifying match. Great pass that. Oh, just too much force there, and I suppose the blocker's entitled to look around and wonder where the cover was.
Yeah, just Brazil, it looks like they're kind of missing on a couple of plays. This is another good touch, really tight to the net. I'm sure Tales could have played it, but made an effort to attempt it, but the point will stay for Cuba set.
Lopez. Well, they end up scoring through Darlan. Pass was good.
You can tell the crowd reaction every time Darlan gets a set. They gasp all at the same time until they see the celebration that he brings after he scores the point.
No, getting that one back. That is a bolt from the blue. Wonderful ace serve there, and we're all square.
Just a rocket of a serve from Leal. Drives it with that spin as well. It tails away from Lopez, which makes it that much more difficult to pass. Sending Sanchez into the reserve area and the team bench to try to track it down.
Yes, it is. Another ace back-to-back. 6-5.
Back-to-back service errors. This time goes down the line. Attacks the seam between Yant and the libero, scoring his second straight ace.
Another one for Brazil. Now then, this is the first time they've led in the match. They're up by 2.
Things are going their way now. They just got a centerline violation called against Cuba after the block.
Yeah. In trouble now for the first time since the first serve, really. Jesus Cruz Lopez's team.
This is a good timeout taken by Cuba. They try to calm down the momentum, quiet the crowd a little bit, put some pressure back on Leao with his serve after the timeout. But the response to start set number 2 here by Brazil is exactly what their coach and crowd needed to see.
So here's Leao. He debuted on the international scene way back when, 2007 men's under-21 World Championships for Team Cuba. Gives up the serve there for Brazil. As if you didn't need reminding, really, Bernardinho is Bruno's dad. Making it a family affair again as they head into the Paris Olympics. There's that middle, nice and tidy again. Lucas, yeah, gets that contact off the side of the block, but it was too sharp.
Lucas is just so long. Watch his approach. He drifts away. Nice route that time. Bruno finds him, and Lucas still with a whip of an arm swing to get that one off the block.
It's the better of Concepcion. Out of system here. Spike, though, is too good from Darlan on the opposite side.
A big opportunity there by Brazil. Andy, you said it. They were out of system, but they worked through it. Leao stepping into set, just puts up a high ball for Darlan. Again, flying out of the back row for the point.
Beats that triple lock as well. Great spike. Well, that's a decent hustle with that run-around play. Michael Sanchez on Cuba's opposite side here.
Physical swing from him. Cuba playing their style of volleyball, which is very physical and fast at that time. A good swing from the right side.
(10-7). Bruno. Yeah. Again, Cuba just bringing all the heat out of the arena, playing their game, not worrying about the crowd. 8-10.
That's that time it's Yant from the right side going up against Lucarelli like they do all season long in Italy, facing off across the net there as well.
Lovely stuff there from Brazil. Again, that set just dialing into the back row hitter, and that is a ripping finish.
Bruno has had to deal with some tight passes tonight, but the tempo of the big attack is what's really helping Leao be successful from that middle back position.
Service out from Lucarelli. Concepcion now. Seem to be having a lot of joy through that middle.
Yeah, the middle is definitely opened up for Brazil, whether it's front row or back row. Bruno is using it, finding it, this time going to Flavio as he falls away from him. Look at how high Flavio contacts that ball. It's a pass Simone for the point.
So Flavio, part of the team that won that VNL Gold 2021 in Rimini. And reduced to that single serve, though. Cuba's siding out again.
Smart swinging from the Cuban outside hitters, going off the outside arm of the block of Darlan that time. More like the shoulder, but still point for Cuba.
Sanchez at Leao. Bruno gets into position. Sets again to Leal, makes it happen off those high hands. No angle in the block there from Cuba. 13-10. Darlan's a popular player in these parts, yet to venture away from Brazil to play his club volleyball. Beams that serve, picked it up, out of system though. It's the Cuban libero setting. Brazil can't take advantage. And Cuba mistake, second time round. No, Brazil mess it up again. Third time lucky, yes. Darlan, the destroyer, deadly again from opposite side. 14-10. This arena is buzzing now.
I love the direct set on two to Lucas through the middle. It didn't work out that time, but then it's Darlan bailing his side out. That swing going through the arms of Lopez's block.
Not that time. It's another error on serve. We haven't completely eradicated those glitches. 11 faults on serve for Brazil. This Vienna opener. If you're just tuning in, what a night in Rio de Janeiro. Brazil, Cuba. Block. There's the up. Darlan again. Well played. Sanchez gets the ball in the air. Cuba with an opportunity. Great work right on that back line. They set it to Leal. And how about that for a killer? Look at that squeeze there. Back it comes on the angle. Nice one for Cuba.
The Cuban block silencing the crowd on this high ball. Triple block against Leal. It was Robert Landy Simone getting his hands over. Let's not forget that dig by Sanchez earlier in the rally.
Miguel Lopez. Going really big on that. Too big. Just as they start snapping away to get within 2 points, there's that fault on serve. Again, the momentum just dissolves away a little bit for Cuba. 15-12, well, it's as you were. Now went huge.
Trying to turn that serve down the line, just drops his arm and body a little bit too low. Get that ball over the net.
Robert Landy Simon now. Carrying an injury last year's VNL, he wasn't involved. Got across to Lucarelli there, who gets it just. Well played. Big swing across the front of the block there. Messing with the angle, that means he's got to get it down quicker on that line. Big loop on that. Yeah, the attack was too good. That time from Marlon Yant. 14-16. Someone's got to hold serve here for Cuba, just to make the breakthrough for them in this set.
Yant has been good from the left side. He's got 7 points so far. That attack from Flavio catches the block, but it travels just wide. Brazil escaping with that point.
The fact that we have those instant in-out replays now, don't have to go to the challenge system, really speeds up the game. Devastating. That's a really clinical finish by Michael Sanchez. Very much in.
It was a good swing down the line, and Bruno tried to play it off as if he didn't touch it right back on defense, but just like an official caught it.
So Yant is given as an ace. That ball dropped, dipped, devilishly, devastatingly here. Whoa, great service. Timeout.
Ei, pós-tempo, tá? Aquela variante que a gente vai fazer aqui. Ei, Valeu, valeu. Bom saque dele. Fica ligado, Flávio. Fica ligado na caixinha.
Athens 2004, Rio 2016, two-time Olympic champion with the national team of the men. Bernardinho, been involved in every edition of the Olympic Games since Atlanta '96. Missed out only on Tokyo in 2020, when of course Renan Del Zotto was the man in charge. 7 Olympic medals for Bernardinho as a player: silver LA '84, 2 bronzes leading the women's team '96 and 2000, 2 golds 04 and 16, and 2 silvers 08 and 12 with the men's. Crazy, that finish.
A perfectly placed serve from Yant right out of the timeout, hitting it to the corner.
Brilliant. Almost had another as well. Brazil have dug it up and out. Ball was on the floor. And okay, they're back in the lead, but Cuba having a real good go here.
Cuba giving Brazil everything they can handle from the inline, on the attacking. Brazil's responded nicely here in set 2, but the lead is not very big, and now with Lucarelli at the inline, they're looking to add to it.
Gets that serve in, at least here, Lucarelli, but the pressure was a little bit lacking. And Sanchez with that heat-seeking missile to the corner, levels it up. We're all square here at 18 all, set 2.
A great turn down the line from Sanchez. Layout gives him a lot of area to hit. Tales didn't step over. Sanchez taking advantage of it.
Now Concepcion. Barrow with a work. Darlan stopped. It's a little bit flat. Now then Cuba are going to go hell for leather here for a block touch, I think. Yeah, it's been given as out, and the point to Brazil. But you saw the reaction of the players there, immediately making that gesture. They're going to go for the challenge.
I think you have to go for the challenge at this point of the set. It was a good swing, thinking that this might have traveled right through the hands of the Brazilian block. No one admitting to the touch. So we'll have to go to the video challenge.
Come off the side of the arm by the looks of things of Flavio. Yeah. Good challenge. So they win the point. They keep the challenge. 18 all here. Concepcion gets another serve. Plays in France. 11 countries providing the clubs for these Cuban international players. Side out, very important in the circumstances there for Brazil.
Perfect time for Bruno to go to Flavio. It comes all the way across the court. Great read from Robert Landy Simon. Flavio able to get that attack right through Simone's arms. Now he goes back to the inline.
How about that? Back comes the giant Simon. Reaching into the clouds again. Pumps that down for Cuba.
Back and forth, these two teams go. Brazil goes middle, Cuba comes right back through the middle of their own.
What a time as well. Hit the front. 20 plays 19. Cuba with that first set in the locker. Can they go 2 up here? Boy, that would be something here on day 1. This Volleyball Nations League pool in Rio de Janeiro. Packed house at the Maracanãzinho in the shadow of the famous football stadium, the Maracanã. And here we are at this iconic volleyball venue as well. A lot to calibrate. we're good to go. It's 2019 in Cuba's favour, and that extra bit of delay. Oh dear, oh dear. It put Taboada off his stroke.
That's unfortunate for Cuba. Our officials table had to straighten out their technology. It leads to that Cuban service error. We're tied at 20s now.
Alan comes in. Bruno. Good move. 21-20.
Alan doing what he was meant to do on the court, getting the block point, replacing Bruno. Good effort from Jan to cover it, but runs out of real estate. Can Brazil add to it now?
Extra height in that front row. Things are getting tense. Brazil just have their noses in front again here. Business end of set 2.
Levantamos la pelota y resolvemos el problema. Después vamos a preocuparnos por el otro punto.
Darlan from Sesi Bauru. Brazilian champion in the season just departed. Yeah, he just curses himself for missing that serve. 21-all, it's all very nervy. Here we go. Fernando, understudy to Bruno. Trying to run the attack. They're mixing it up here at the end. Trying something new, the Brazilians. Defending this serve, it's huge. Too huge. And that's a gift in the circumstances. Brazil back in the lead, 22-21.
Yeah, Brazil opting for that double sub, bringing Alan in through the front row for Bruno, and then Fernando the set through the back row.
Safe serve, in play. Block can't contain. Yant, ideally fed, gets it down the side. Bit of a wipeout play there. Into that middle. It's off Lucas in the end.
Frustration on his face, Andy. That ball going through his hands again. A ball that he probably usually blocks or expects to block, but Cuba taking the point.
Mauricio comes into the fray here. Got to Simon. Plays it safe. Almost forces the mistake. Ball's in the air here. Big opportunity for the Cubans. There's the up from Tallys. A little bit off balance. The swing from wing side. Mistakes on both sides of the net, but that spike lands. Cuba, they can't take the second set as well, can they? Can they?
What a swing here from Yant. Lucas dropping his hands, and that ball finds the corner in area 5. Brazil taking a timeout, but you see the frustrations here from Bernardinho.
Eu sou variante pós-tempo, tá? Cuidado, tranquilidade aqui. Só mais essa bola aqui. Tá, contra-ataque, estoura os caras. Roda essa.
Mighty impressive as well. The way that swing from Jan went past the triple block. Just to give them an extra point and a lead here. It's Simon serving. Cuba 23, Brazil 22 here, second set. Wow!
Unbelievable.
Wow!
What a serve from Robert Landy Simon. He goes off speed this time, disguising it right in front of Mauricio. Can't make the adjustment in time, and it's now set point for Cuba.
This is mad stuff here. Here's Simon. Another big serve pass. The Cuban block fans out. Are they going to guess right? They couldn't quite cover that swing from Alan. So Brazil save a set point.
It was all about the pass from Tales. Look where that ball ends up. Perfect pass offense. First ball side out to Alan on the right side, sneaking it past Yan's hand.
Lucas. Oh! Fantastic. 24-all. What a moment, what a time to serve that up.
Getting it off of the libero as well. Lucas with a dangerous serve, goes aggressive to score the ace, and we're tied.
2 set points saved. Lucas again to the opposite line this time. He would pick up. No, that's going to be a Cuba point. Crowd rising as one there. They thought that block was going to hit the spot. It didn't. It dropped out.
Well, I think they almost thought that there was going to be another service ace. Yant diving to save that one, but watch the block. The left arm of Lucarelli opening up just enough for Cuba to go off his arm and out of bounds.
Third set point here for Cuba. It's the setter. Van Dijk now with a responsibility here. Bit of a delay again. Doesn't do the server any good, this. Here we go. Plays it safe. In play. Brazil getting system. Block comes back. No. Brazil save a third set point.
Flavio got it through the Cuban side. Even against the commit block that time of Concepcion, not able to stop it.
So, Alan withdrawn. Bruno back in. Switch the setter and the hitter again. Just a little bit more familiar here, just to bring them home. So Bruno to serve and indeed set in the back line. Been instruction from Pops as well. Serve to the line. Cuba pick up. Block comes across. That looked a little bit heavy. It's out. Yan misses. Well, whatever that little word was, it worked.
It worked. There he goes down the line. Lopez with a nice pass, but Yant trying to avoid the block and misses it just long.
Have set point themselves, having saved 3, the Brazilians. There's the middle, ball comes back, it's popped down. Concepcion, yeah, holding their nerve here. Cuba, we're at 26-all.
Be a great look here on the replay. This ball clearly on top of the net, maybe not clearly, maybe a little bit over to the Brazil side, but still legal for Cuba to attack.
Battle of the blockers there. Concepcion versus Flavio. Here we go, all square again. Past Tales, up and over the head. That's a little bit of a feather that comes through from Lucarelli. Cuba get the block touch again. And now they have a 4th set point.
You can see the frustrations on the Brazilian offense not leading to a point, but Cuba taking advantage of it. How can they close it out?
Good serve, overpass. Cuba, it's wide open for them here. Have they got the block touch? No, they haven't. Are they going to go to challenge it? It seems so. came the swing, you saw the reaction of the players. So given as an out, which would make it 27-27 if this challenge proves to be unsuccessful. We shall see. Clean, isn't it? No block touch. Misses that outside arm of Lucarelli. So Mauricio removed, Leao reinstalled here. Lucarelli with the serve is 27-all. Cuba have had 4 set points, and each one of them has dissolved into the dust. Lucarelli tries to calm himself. Oh boy! Ice in the veins.
What a serve. An absolute laser down the line. Cuban reception sending that one into the crowd. Lopez couldn't even barely move out of the way.
So Brazil with their second set point now at 28-27. So 5th ace serve for them in the contest. Lucarelli beams that to the back line. Pass, set. There's containment here. Brazil with a chance. Set to the left side. Block comes back at Brazil. Then they get the contact off the block, and Darlan brings it home. A really tense and nervy second set, but Brazil take it and listen to the noise. See what it means. All square. Match night 1 in the Maracanãzinho. But boy, Brazil were playing with fire there. They survived. They danced through the raindrops of those 4 set points and then brought it home on their second set point with that.
Darlan finishing it, going aggressive through the hands of Lopez's block. One-on-one situation, always advantage to the hitter in those ones. But what a finish there from Brazil, and the crowd has come alive, Andy.
They certainly have. The atmosphere is crackling. Vital numbers then from set 2. Pretty even in attacks at Brazil with those 2-1 blocks. Very close set. Hardly anything in it in the end. One block and one attack better. Now then, Rob Snook is courtside to hear from the coaches.
You must be pleased with how well your team is handling all of this pressure in this crazy atmosphere.
We know it was a very difficult game. We have in Brazil, it's the first game of the BNL. It's one of the most beautiful play in the BNL.
What does having Robert Landy Simon add back to the lineup that he's back with the team?
It's very important. He's one of the best players of the world. He come back to play with the national team. It's wonderful.
What does your team need to do the rest of the way to have success?
We have to play the same level to Brazil. It's very difficult to make a prediction now.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you.
Well, his team didn't lose that second set by much. The finest of margins, really. Fascinating to see how this one is going to pan out. Been given Brazil a slightly higher percentage of the probability of the win now at the end of set 2. But a match that's living up to the occasion.
Absolutely, Andy. Both teams playing really high-level volleyball. Good aggressive swings. The crowd is involved. The environment is electric. Squared up, 1 set apiece now. Basically the best 2 out of 3 going forward. It could go either direction, to be honest.
Cuba's serve placement then in set 2. Brazil favouring the centre. Terrific to see the men in action here. Day 1 of the VNL. Have a look at Marlon Jan, a couple of blocks and 3 aces, part of his haul. 12 points thus far in terms of the overall scorer.
Yeah, leading all scorers, Marlon Yant. He needs a little support. Next closest scorer for Cuba is Sanchez with 6 points. And Lopez also with 6, but he's got to get some additional support through the middle. Meanwhile, for Brazil, it's Ioane Leao leading the way with 11 points, 9 on attack. Darlan with 10 points, all on attack. Luca Rally, 7 points for him. 5 on attack, 1 block, 1 ace. Coach Bernardinho must be somewhat pleased at that response, even though Brazil had to fight from behind to come back and take it. He's not showing any cards here in between games 2 and 3, obviously.
Yep. The end of day 1, we'll have 4 of the 8 teams competing in Rio having played a match. The other teams, Germany, Italy, Iran, Serbia, they get their campaigns underway in the Maracanãzinho tomorrow. It's going to be a tough week and a fascinating week. We've got Germany to look forward to here, Matt. They won the Olympic qualies pool ahead of Brazil, 100%, weren't they here? Played 7, won 7 last year. Start of the 3rd set. Cuba with that side out and on the serve. Big up and over. Free ball here, plenty in the air. Great read, Concepcion through the middle. Super anticipation there, he stayed so focused.
Good move there by Concepcion, you're right. Waits, fronts Leao as he comes flying out of the back row and then gets up to throw that one back down.
Very good finish again. Left side, lovely little off speed here, just tipping that over really to the middle. No court coverage, just to the inside here. One-on-one as well. Brazil's defense left exposed.
And just some broken plays here from Brazil to start set number 3, and it's a quick 3-0 lead for Cuba.
Bruno gets them in system. There's Lucarelli. Fizz on that. Double. Does get across to try and snuff out the Cuban attack, but that is a really sharp slice and spike there across the front of the block.
Lopez, who's been a little quiet this time from the left side, drives it through that seam between Flavio and Bruno. 4-0 on the board and a very early timeout from Brazil now.
Yeah. Cuba out of the traps, really strong set 3.
Primeiro aqui, atenção é o seguinte, a chance é o seguinte, calma lá, porque eu tô empurrando aqui, atenção oponente, pós-saque agora, tá? Side out, vamos firme no saque, tá? Vamos lá, 2, tudo vai pro saque lá.
Brewston in charge of France. Start of this Olympic cycle. Bernardinho didn't work out for him there. Necessarily working out at the start of set 3 tonight either here. The Seleção. Marlon Yant. That's kind of what they wanted, the Brazilians. Just Yant's rhythm to be disrupted.
Cuba will take that service error early on in the set because he's been serving very good all match long.
Bruno. Sanchez, this is the spike. He's going to get given another chance to get it right, and he does exactly that.
2 chances in a row that time for Sanchez. Got dug by Bruno on the first one, then turns it down the line. It's past Tales as he dives through.
Concepcion. Super serve that. It's a bullet. Came very low indeed. Too hot to handle.
The serving from the middle blockers for Cuba. Robert Landy Simon already on the board with a service point. Now Concepcion getting one off of layout.
Six. What? Cuba. Concepcion. There's pressure on that serve. There's the tip. Great work there. Cuba in the cover, behind the blockers. Bruno with the up, out of system. Libero with that pass. Hustle, opposite side there.
Well, they get one back here as Lucarelli swinging hard off the block from the right side. That one rotation where he swings on the right side of the court, Bruno goes to him regularly, and he's been productive from there. Transitions back to the back row to serve.
Lucarelli. Lovely work. Left side. Lopez for the crunch. Served at him. Managed to pass it perfectly well. Runs around to finish.
Just a dream start now for Cuba, up by 5, 7-2 with Sanchez serving.
Sanchez, who plays here in Brazil with Minas. Can't clear the net. So we've got Flavio. Awkward pass. Good save. Again, Lopez has really found some heat.
These are the plays that Brazil can't let get by. They get Cuba out of system, and then Lopez going hard off of Darlan's block as he shows the forearm, and he takes advantage of it.
Double digits now for Lopez. There's the up, rather flat. Cuba all over that, reading that like an open book. Darlan down into that block. Hang time from the Cubans. They just pop it back easy.
Really surprising to see Darlan approach that way as if he's expecting to tip and not being aggressive with that.
Not getting past Robert Landy Simon like that. And again with that contact, Cuba really in the moment again, feeling it, having lost the second set. Here they are up by 7 at the start of set 3.
Amazing start for Cuba. Landy Simon getting the block on his former Italian teammate in Piacenza. Leao not able to get the ball past him there.
Lopez here. Just left his Qatari club Al Rayyan for Panasonic Panthers in Japan. There's a lot of pace here about Cuba right now. Middle, big miss that. Brazil out of sorts here. It's a chance if Bruno can set. Again, that's a little bit high, isn't it, for Darlan? Block reads it well. Improvisation again from Cuba, but it's an overpass. Ribeiro shovels it up and over. Brazil cannot finish. They're out of system. Again, Cuba, but Simon there to power another down. Brazil in disarray.
Andy, I'm a bit speechless here. Brazil just struggling to score points on offense. I mean, Cuba doing a great job with their own defensive efforts like that one from Yant, and then their smart attacking. Robert Landy Simon in the right place at the right time. Goes on one and catches Bruno up in the shoulder.
So Fernando is in. Alan is in. will be facing Miguel Lopez in Japan next season, because Alan has just left his Polish club Ozicin for Toray Arrows. Nothing on that tip. Okay, they've got another chance. Moments like that will help them along. Managed to stay controlled enough there just to feed Lucas, and that's a big point in the circumstances, because Brazil was starting to fold a bit.
It is. They're down by 7, but if they're able to turn the ship around a little bit, start playing within themselves, but their style of volleyball, the crowd will come alive. That could add some momentum throughout the remainder of this match for them.
4-11. Serve forces that mistake. Yeah, a little bit of an extra element now, because Fernando has come in for Bruno as they mix it up. 5-11 now. A couple of points on the bounce here for Brazil.
These are the adjustments that Brazil has to make to try to change up the climate of what's happening on the court. Lucas getting back-to-back points for them as Fernando goes back to serve now.
Love that transition. Setter and Simon in perfect synchronicity, in perfect harmony there, and making a beautiful thing there.
Robert Landy Simon on the back one. Overloads Leal and gets that attack through his hands as he goes through his pre-serve routine with that Simon spin on the finger.
Such an impressive athlete. Here he is with the serve. Again, Cuba's defense solid. They're going to have to do it again here. One-on-one. Brazil isolate that blocker, and Leal finishes.
Good play from Fernando to go overhead to Leal against Yan. That's something that Cuba has seen very much from Leal.
Here we are with Leal. Fourth serve fault that for Yohandy Leal. It's been a problem for them.
14 total service errors for Brazil. It's only 4 points.
Block out. Too much force again. Cuba front court. No sign of any let up here from the Cubans.
Not at all. More frustration being shown on the faces of the Brazilian players. Seeing this scoreboard continue to go away from them.
Okay, that one will go Brazil's way. Referee loses his tablet. Injected a bit of steel into it. This Cruz Lopez is going for Nicolas Rubens, it seems. Because they have that opening set in the Olympic qualies match, and Brazil came back. Not so today, necessarily. Where Cuba just wrestled back control of this contest. And lost the second set. 14-7. Brazil are on serve. Lucas has the ball in his hand. No. Gets another fault on serve.
Service errors from middle blockers for Brazil, Flavio and Lucas. Working their cause very much here as they've been aggressive. Lucas got a couple of service aces a few moments ago. That time into the net.
Jantz. Alan. Make sure the ball is in play. It's a good serve as well. Yeah, more pressure, more control in the serve. That's the best way to go about it.
Now you've got to serve tough but in. This time Cuba getting a little bit out of the system. There was contact on the antenna there by Thondike on the set prior to the swing. Brazil adding some pressure now.
Back come Cuba. That was a really good swing by Sanchez.
Sanchez once again from the right side. This time hitting the meat of the court, back to area 6. A massive gap in that block that Leal didn't step into.
16-9, Javier Concepcion. Short. Brazil with options here. Alan on that back row, down the side.
So the adjustments that Brazil has made, bringing in Alan and Fernando. Bernardinho's keeping them in. He likes what he sees from them so far. Swing there from Alan down the line.
Just enough of a corridor to the block the shoulder and the antenna. The old problems return. 17-10. So we're going to see Jose Masso now. Taboada comes in for Thondike. And onto the setter. Allen. That'll do. That will do. In the short term there for Brazil.
Allen has brought some steadiness to the opposite hitter position. Doing a good job finding the high hands with the big swings. Getting the ball past the block, but in the court. Steadied out the offense a little bit for Brazil.
Flavio. And Cuba, no worries at all with the side out again. Lopez with that contact. Goes to the back line. Although who has experience on Brazilian club volleyball. Formerly of Sada Cruzeiro. Huge swing on that. Jump serve. But he's got it all wrong. Still though, there's a little bit of license for Cuba to try things like that. It's actually their serve error number 11. But it's a nice tidy cushion still here. It's 6 points here, set 3. More pressure on that serve, forces the mistake. Brazil simply have to score off this. They don't on the first phase. Allen is rejected. Running into that is Leal. They go to Allen again. Well played, because 2 got across there. Taboada and Simon, but Allen's finish was good.
That was a big effort that led to that point. Fernando had to run all the way across the court to track it down. Lucarelli stepping into set. Cutting into the lead, now only 5 points for Cuba. And it was Allen delivering another point from the right side.
So here is Fernando. Three-time club world champion. Another with a creaking trophy cabinet. Short serve, forced the mistake, and a rocket from back left there. Again, Cuba getting the way with the defense. Big high set for Leal, that's really clever. He spots the gap down the line, 3 got across, delightful little finish.
Clever indeed, Andy, great call by you. Watch the swing, turns it down the line, knows it's open, catches Taboada by surprise, and Cuba's not able to track it down.
Soaks up this serve. But Brazil come again, down by just 4 now. Leal. They've got the measure of that block right now. And having looked in a lot of trouble, having looked to be put in that rearview mirror, they're now trailing by just 3 points. Even though, again, there's 3 in that block, Brazil have the answers.
And the momentum, able to get that attack through Marlon Yant's hand, and now Cuba calls a second timeout, trying to slow down this momentum and quiet the crowd here, as Brazil has caught fire.
In play, smothering with that block the Brazilians. There goes Alan, goes for the high hands, clean out, up and over the top. Cuba just get a little bit of control back here. 19-15. Brazil were on a run there.
Now, that was a hugely important point for Cuba, as Marlon Yant went wide on his block and Alan sent it long.
Simon, 50 medals with 9 clubs in 6 countries in an extraordinary career. Alan gets it done.
Gets it right back from Fernando, that time on the left side. Good to see Fernando go back to him after the previous error. A good high swing into the angle there.
Yohandy Leal. Big pickup. 2 in the block, but Masso scores.
Good look at Brazilians' reserve coaching staff with some concerned looks on their faces. Former great libero, Serginho there.
No wonder. Cuba have resisted the pressure, and every time Brazil have threatened to properly mount an assault on this Cuban advantage, Central Americans just made the adjustments necessary. That comes back in, and Cuba make a mistake on the serve, and it remains tense. 3-point set, 17-20.
Does Brazil have some magic, Andy? You sense it that they're right at the cusp of finding it. Here's Lucas.
We'll soon find out. Good serve. Overpass saved. That's tremendous. That really is tremendous, because that was a rocket of a serve.
What a play from Cuba to keep it alive. Puts up a hittable ball on that set. The pass was pretty tight to the net. And through the middle. And Concepcion for the point.
Yant. Big cheer. Nervous cheers, in a sense, really, from the Brazilian faithful inside this arena. There we go, the Cuban serve error is just creeping up. 13 to Brazil's 17 here in this contest tonight. Here comes Alan. Cuba working hard, they're hitting off the nets. It's been given as a block touch there and a Cuban point.
Big swing from Lopez. High ball situation, somewhat out of system. Finding the high fingertips of Flavio, though.
Well, Concepcion here. Another serve fault. Becoming a regular occurrence now in the end game phase of this third set. Lucarelli. Gap is 3 points. Brazil on the wrong end of that gap. That's heavy. Push up and over the top. Well, Cuba get awarded that. Boy, here we go. Simon with plenty to say to the first referee.
How about Bernardino's going to step in and call a challenge for a net touch on the Cuban attack.
Throw. Think of it here, the Brazilians. This is a big call. So, Sanchez ready and waiting, going in through his pre-serve routine. Will he have to give it up here? No. Nowhere near. Lopez well clear of the net there, so that one's failed. The challenge. So anything to distract the Cubans now. Let's go for a timeout.
Sai down nosso aqui, tá? Duas coisas. Começaram o set, bomba no saque, abriram, sacando bem. Estão forçando, errando um pouco mais. Nós demos continuidade, estamos jogando, tivemos várias chances. Essa agora, chances, dependente do mérito deles ou não. Então nós temos que dar consistência para a gente poder criar chances, amar melhor o nosso sistema. Ok? Bora, bora, bora! Vai, vai, vai!
Sanchez then to serve. With Tunde Minas from Belo Horizonte here in Brazil. We spent the last 3 years. Serve is in play. Pass, Fernando in system. Feeds it up to that back row attacker.
Great play here from Brazil. A perfect pass. Leal sets it up. Touch ball side out as Lucarelli comes flying out of that big. Flavio pulled the block with him. Open that one up.
Adriano in his first involvement, the outside hitter. Serves up. In play. Ribeiro with a pass, decoy hitter. And Lopez silences the arena. We have 4 set points for Cuba.
What a play there from Cuba. A perfect ball in. Lucas fronted and committed on Robert Landy Simon, leaving Leal on his own at the pin. Big swing there from Lopez inside the block.
Big point here. Oh, it's a lovely serve that came short. Brazil struggling to pick it up. Then they contain in the block, so they've got an attack here on the cards. Yeah. Forced through, barrage through by Leal, and that is a first set point saved. Still so much work to do here for Brazil, but that'll do as a starter. So Fernando. No, it's a gift. It's Cuba ahead again in the match, 25-21. There is real steel about this Cuban side. I mean, okay, Brazil took their foot off the gas in that set, but this side from Cuba looked disciplined and organised and absolutely unfazed by the situation that surrounds them tonight.
And they're starting out every set aggressively, and it's paid off for them because they've built leads that they're able to carry through to the end of the set. Even though Brazil came back, they were up by 7 points. Brazil got to within 3, but Cuba able to get it done on a service error to finish that set.
Nothing in the block for Brazil. An entire set. 4 blocks made from Cuba and an ace serve.
No block points, no serve points for Brazil either.
Yeah, they really were loose in that set. Can't afford to be again here. Otherwise, it would be a rather anticlimactic opening to the men's pool here in Rio, as far as the host nation is concerned. Anyway, with so much expectation. I was looking forward to seeing Brazil out on the court. 9 p.m. first serve, everything set up for it. But Cuba are just removing any distractions. They are focused, they are in the zone. Given a 55% win probability now. At the end of that third set, they lead by 2-1 here in Rio.
Brazilian attack placement through the third set. Relatively even across the court where they're attacking the ball too. Now for Cuba. Aiming more towards the center, but still very balanced on the attack placement for Cuba. Now, Andy, the question for Brazil, how do they respond and how do they prevent Cuba from getting out of the gates with another hot start and building a lead that they're relentlessly keeping all the way through the set as well?
Yeah, what are two bemused expressions being worn by the Brazil players by the looks of things here. Just refining the formula, or that's the intention at least, between this group of players, many of whom know Ronaldinho from way back when. But the dynamic seems a little different this time round. Brazil can't afford another slip-up. As we know, we saw it with the women's opening VNL pool last week in Turkey and here in Rio. The Olympic qualification element amongst teams who aren't already there just gives this tournament another dimension this year, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a dynamic to really focus on those teams as they try to finish the VNL in a position where they do qualify for the Olympics.
Cuba are one of those teams in the hunt for the qualifying spot via the VNL. But this guy's done some job, Jesus Cruz Lopez, it seems. Just adding a little bit of steel to the squad. So with the opening point of set 4, just taking the transition there. A bit scratchy from the Cubans, and 2 across in the block. Good there from Sanchez, in that run around play to that push of the hands in the block there. Cuba leveled things up.
Only 3 points on the block for Brazil tonight so far. For some reason they just have not found their blocking rhythm to get the ball back down to the floor. Cuba doing a good job keeping their attacking high, driving it off the hands and then sending it well out of play.
No nonsense. Flavio.
Great to see the replay instantly showing us that that ball was in fact in. Cuba saying that it was possibly out, but Flavio knows he hit it in.
There's the work, defense-wise, for Brazil. Up and over, and that transition again is quite delightful.
What a brilliant time to go quick for Cuba. Brazil scrambling to keep the ball in play. Alon making a nice touch on it, but then Van Dijk throwing it into Simon in transition. He goes cross-body for the winner, getting it past Lucas's block that time.
Sanchez, big serve to the middle. Fernando gets them in system. It's already dwindling on there. Leal powers the cross court. But for a brief moment, seems all well again in the Brazilian world. That's delightful.
I like that Bernardinho kept Elan and Fernando in to start set number 4. They were able to find some momentum in set 3, but another service error for Brazil, and that does not help the cause.
So far, 19 Brazil. Back they come. Side-out game's okay.
You just see on Lucas's face, he wants to get set more. He's been relatively quiet through sets 2 and 3 on offense, but this matchup of these two middles, Robert Landy Simon and Lucas, two of the best in the business.
Leal. Oh, they're using that transition through the middle again. It's pretty much a go-to play now. Simon gets it down again. Beautiful thing to watch when they get that right.
It really is. Look where that set's coming from. Thondike throwing it in there with pace and placement for Simon to score the point.
Off the tape. Takes a little bit of heat out of that Simon. Serve ball comes back outside the antenna. That's very much through it from Sanchez. They're enjoying this, the Cubans, aren't they? They're enjoying silencing this arena.
Absolutely they are. Bernardinho asking questions that the block from Yan was inside the antenna, but then he went around the pole to make the contact. Whether or not that was a legal play, but the score will stand and Cuba will take that point. They have completely silenced this building, though, and this crowd.
Walk in the park right now for this guy. Just through the tape again. They block the Cubans. Fernando sits again to left side. There's the up and over, and okay, again, the pressure is sufficient there. Lucarelli.
Good swing from Lucarelli, nearly getting the dig from Robert Landy Simon in the angle that time.
Suck out. We can chalk another onto this sort of fault. Extraordinary.
Big miss, well wide of the court.
Is it just one of those things that we to assume that that hasn't been a priority on the practice courts right now? Another one for Cuba. 7-5.
Cuba continuing to maintain their level and their disciplined block early here in set number 4. Brazil really struggling with their offense.
Again, there's smother with the Cuban block. To the left side. Let's add another one. Marlon Yant. Off the top scorer in the match now. Leal leading that column. Yant will be up to 15 with this. 118 kilometers an hour on that spike. Real problems here for Brazil tonight.
Chega lá, passou muito fora. Angula um pouco a bola, tira dos caras. Viu aqui? Ele tá vindo direto, posição 4. Vem, pega teu cara pra cá. Virou na coisa. Ali devagar. A 4 tá vindo direto acompanhando aqui. Então dá um tapa pra lá, tira dela aqui. Tá?
Acelera o jogo, segura um pouco, tá?
Exatamente.
Vai, rodar essa.
Aqui, ó.
Rodar essa agora, vai.
Vamos na P2. Achou que vai chegar no fundo. Calma. Vem.
Bernardinho showing his calmness and asking his players to stay calm and wait for the opportunities. Don't force it. Let the ball come to them. Take advantage of the opportunities that are given, but play smart volleyball and attack at the right angles to score the points, but then continue to play all the way through the point.
Thondike, who the players absorb and learn from. And hear their coach. A little bit of an iffy transition there. Okay, we're going to go for a challenge here. Referee challenge was that? Can't be sure if the antenna was struck there. Off the swing. Referee challenge as well. It seems like Cuba have put this challenge in. The referee can ask for a video replay also. Well, they don't care. Party time, whatever the result.
Great camera work there to see two angles at the same time after the ball hit the net. Did it touch Sanchez's arms? It did not. Cuba will stay with the point. Much like this whole match has gone in favor of Cuba so far, it's doing the same now in set 4.
Sure. Van Dijk. 9-5. Bit of catch off the tape there. Brazil helped by that. Flavio puts it down.
Fernando acting both of his middles now. Good time for Flavio to go through the middle. Concepcion putting up a good block, but Flavio able to get around him.
Use that middle attack. Okay, not Simon that time, but no worries. Same outcome. Lovely angle again. It's Concepcion who just slots in there and dumps it down.
Keeps his shoulders open to his setter so he can be set the ball and then changes the direction of his attack smartly as well.
59% attacks in here for Cuba. Short serve, Ribeiro pick up. Opposite, comes in to swing it. Got Lucarelli finding the target that time.
Again from the right side, using the entire court, driving that one nearly to the corner, but right on the line for the side out.
Lucarelli now. Pass, set, and kept it right side. Brazil, though, are unable to make that numerical advantage pay. The 2-on-1 situation, but they get the defense wrong.
The ball going off of Leal and then hitting the referee's stand.
The side there of Leal. Yeah, Brazil will accept any kind of gifts coming their way right now. And that was one. Certainly the serve faults have crept up on the Cuban side. 16 serve fault. Brazil on 20 in that category. Sanchez misses. Has 2 in the follow-up play. Does Leal? Well, all is just not well at all. That ball should be landing from Leal.
I have to ask you, that's just not Brazil's night tonight. Cuba playing a smart game, very disciplined, dropping their hands on that attack as Leal sends it long.
Another miss through the middle. It's decent work for that pickup by Fernando. They get a bit of a break there. Covering the back row, but the trajectory of that swing just altered by the block, and the ball dies a death. Brazil with a little bit of renewed hope here.
Got to score some quick points on their block and defense. It's been their biggest struggle all night. Only 3 block points for Brazil. And middleman, Lucas Sanchev, 0 block points so far.
Alan, good serve. Dumped out across the middle of the net, saving that overpass. Cuba with all the answers, no matter how the ball is coming at them. Tonight, they've been strong and locked in. They really have, the Cubans.
I mean, everything just going in Cuba's favor. That play off the block and down. Now a 4-point lead for Lopez.
Thorndike on 2 there. Bit of a hustle. That set was very high from Fernando.
Fernando keeping his middles involved. But the connection's not clean. Robert Landy Simon knows Fernando wants to go to the middle as well. He's honoring Lucas, but not able to stop that time.
So it's going to be layout. Good cover. Sanchez, the destroyer again. Comfortable swing.
Marlon Yan, a massively important pass here. But then watch this attack angle from Sanchez. It's again the frustration of the Brazilian block, not able to get the job done coming out from Bernardino's face.
Here comes Simon. 2 aces, 2 blocks, 7 attacks, and put it all in. It's his first fault on serve, actually. The 17. Lucas, big pass, Sanchez, they make a really good play out of that.
What a play from the Cuban side. The pass turned out to be right on the money. And then it was Sanchez getting the quick set out of the back row, driving it deep to area 6 at Leal, who can't handle it. And just another example of everything in this match has gone Cuba's way.
Smother. Cuba again, left side attack. Not that time. Yannis just forced that a little bit too much across the front of that block. Missed that far line. Containment that time from Brazil. There's a chance here. They're having to hit off the net. Ribeiro gets back in position. They get into Sanchez. He feeds another one down. Again, no let up. There's absolutely no sign here that Cuba in any kind of mood to lift their foot off the gas, or indeed that Brazil have any kind of answer and get someone at the serve line, have a run at it. Serve has been a real problem tonight for Brazil.
It has, but for Cuba, they can sense it. They've been playing with this confidence ever since the opening set of this match, the first opening points of that first set. And they haven't relented, and they've been able to manage what Brazil has done and have been successful with it all match long.
Couple of decoy hitters. Well, the reward is there with the swing. This is how close it was. Back end of the line, but that's enough. Plenty of time there for the setter to get in position. And then there's so much heat on that from Miguel Lopez. And this rolling advantage here, 4 points. Cuba are just maintaining it all the way to the bitter end.
Cuba continuing to be aggressive on the counter-attack, going high, and now we see our first look at Melgarejo coming in to serve.
And it sets to that middle, that's going to drop out, so Brazil will get one back. Melgarejo removed after just the one release. So Cuba Cuba 16.6 behind Serbia, the last team inside the Olympic qualification zone right now. Would be 15.2 points coming their way in case of a victory over 5th place Brazil. That's how things are looking right now. A Cuban victory. Brazil know that time is running out here for someone to get hold of the ball and stay on serve. Flavio. Nice height to receive. Oh, Sanchez into that block. How did that ball stay off the floor? Brazil to have to get it down, and it will be down and out. A big roar reached that point. Brazil within 2 now.
Maybe that's the spark Brazil needs, a massive block. Van Dijk just in the right place to cover it. But then Leao going down the line to score the point.
Suelta la delantera que está hasta ahora maniobrando con las manos del hombre de campo. Mantén lo mismo, mantén la misma línea. Importante la recepción con este saque. Cambiamos eso. No lo ve, se metió la mano bien. ¿Lo viste? Pero te ataca a fondo, más razón.
Teams opening their campaigns tomorrow in this arena: Germany, Italy, and then it'll be around Serbia in the 9 PM match. After that we move to 3 matches a day. As the top class volleyball comes thick and fast here. Men's Week 1, BNL 2024, quite a story is developing here in the Maracanazinho. Brazil suddenly rousing themselves. Oh, there's the block. It's Simon, strong as an ox again through that middle.
What a stop at the net by Robert Landy Simon. He's seen Lucas do this back quick all night long. Shuffles over, gets his hands up and over, then directs it back into the court for a massive block.
Taboada. Masso as well. So Van Dijk move. It's Taboada in as the setter. Great work again, Cuba here. Oof. That's an iffy miss. 1-on-1. Okay, they'd split that block. And then Masso, fresh on the court, misses.
Rare hitting error. From Cuba. They've been pretty good. Didn't have to slice it quite that hard.
It's what it takes sometimes, hitting error at a pressure point moment like this. Darlin back in. All of a sudden Brazil will feel that they're slightly let off the hook here. Well, you have to serve and serve well if you're given those kind of gifts, but that's not something Brazil have done with any kind of regularity tonight. That's it for Alan. 21st serve error from Brazil. There's a bigger serve there from Lopez. We're in play. It's just a flicker off the top of the block. Brazil remind us that this isn't done and dusted yet.
Now Brazil with Bruno and Darlan back on. Bruno going through Lucas though once again, keeping their middles active. Now Lucas needs a block point. Still searching for his first one of the match.
Big serve to that middle. They isolated the blocker again, get that contact. Darlan up, but Jan really high and heavy. No angle on the defense here.
Lucas committing with Robert Landy Simon, leaving Jan one-on-one with Darlan. terminating from the left side once again.
20 plays 17. Simon in play. That's more like it. That kind of hitting has been conspicuous by its absence, generally speaking, tonight.
Well, the pass, even as Bruno came off the net, was good enough to stay in system and in tempo for Leao to attack it, even going through the arms of Concepcion.
26 kilometers an hour. That is a rocket. Lucas serves. They pick their way through the traffic. Again, Cuba with answers, 21-18. Taboada in for Thorndike. They're close now, they really are. Thorndike back on the court. The advantage is 3 points here. Thorndike plays in Turkey. Gets the green light. No. Bounce, maybe, for Brazil. But unless this serve improves, it's Kilms. Darlan now. 10 points in the match, 10 attacks. Remember, there's 21 serve faults for Brazil. But none. Fall, rather, from Darlan. Here he comes, Darlan. Better serve, in play. A little bit of the sting taken out by the tape. Cuba transition. Sanchez left side.
Another big swing from Sanchez. He hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities from the left side, but goes up, challenges Flavio. It's the deflection through and down for the point. The double sub is completed here now for Brazil. Fernando back on.
Yat. To that line, we've got an ace here for Cuba. And the gap is 4 points now at the back end of set 4. Oh, wow. Tape ace.
Alon looked as if he thought it was going to be out of bounds, but that ball landing clearly in. Cuba now just 2 points away from taking this win over Brazil in Rio.
Vamos chegar pra cá, vem pra cá de novo. Caixinha agora, pra frente, não vem pra trás. 3 em 3.
Bora, rodar essa, vamos rodar essa, vamos rodar essa. Vai pegar a fita. Rodar essa, Lucas, confia depois, bora.
He's almost resigned to it, really, doesn't he, Bernardinho now? Big night, the big return of Bernardinho. It was all set up. Full house, packed house. Brazil roared into the arena. But Cuba have had ice in their veins all night long. There's still work to do, but they're very close now. Here's Marlon Yant. Well, no worries really, giving Brazil the serve back. Transpired. Brazil's serve game wise. Clear out. So, Lucarelli now. Defense there. Set a little heavy, smother. Sanchez, Thorndike, back to Sanchez. Hang on a minute. Brazil finding the block.
The block that they need, that they've been missing for so long, Andy. This time it's Flavio getting it down to the floor on the Sanchez attack. Don't try to go hard angle against Flavio. That is a massive block point that Brazil needed.
Only their fourth all night.
Tranquilo, hacemos un recibo y la cambiamos, tranquilidad. Dale, equipo.
So Cuba need just 2 points for the match. Brazil are 2 points further back. Lucarelli. Three times he's faulted from the serve line. Simply cannot afford another one. Simply cannot afford it. Lucarelli doesn't oblige. But this transition from Cuba gets it done. And here we are, 3 match points in the Maracanãzinho for Cuba.
That was a great ball in. Flavio had to front Concepcion, leaving Marlon Yet open, and now Robert Landy Simon comes back into the front row.
Yeah. Work the middle magnificently all night long here. We're in play, set, containment, one-handed dig. Now then, how about this out-of-system set? Way off the net. Sanchez gives the ball to Brazil. Again, Brazil can't get the ball down. So Cuba in to win. What a night for Team Cuba at the Maracanãzinho. A stunning victory.